Hello there. I'm Mansour, an archaeologist and historian. For as long as I can remember, one question has truly captivated me. It's a big one. How on earth did the ancient Egyptians build those magnificent pyramids? Think about it. The sheer size, the incredible precision. These colossal structures rise from the desert sands like man-made mountains. They've stood for thousands of years, whispering secrets of a bygone era. It's a puzzle that has fascinated people for centuries. And I've dedicated my life to trying to piece together the answers, sifting through the dust and deciphering the clues left behind by this incredible civilization. My journey has taken me deep into the heart of Egypt. I've spent countless years under the blazing sun with sand in my boots and a trowel in my hand. Standing before the Great Pyramid of Giza, for instance, still fills me with an overwhelming sense of awe. You can read all the books, look at all the pictures, but nothing prepares you for the reality of it. These aren't just piles of stone, you see. They are a testament to human ingenuity, to ambition, and to an extraordinary vision. Each block tells a story of effort and skill, a story I'm desperate to understand fully and share with the world. It's so important to remember that the pyramids were much more than just grand tombs for pharaohs. Oh yes, they were certainly that, designed to protect the ruler's body and guide him to the afterlife. But they were also powerful symbols of the pharaoh's divine power, his connection to the gods. They represented stability, cosmic order, and the very heart of Egyptian religious belief. Understanding how and why they were built gives us an incredible window into the minds of the ancient Egyptians. It helps us grasp what they valued, what they feared, and what they aspired to achieve in their world. So, I invite you to join me on this exploration. Let's travel back in time together, shall we? We'll dig into the methods, the materials, and the incredible organization that made these wonders possible. We'll uncover the stories of the people who labored to create these eternal monuments. It's a tale of sweat, brilliance, and unwavering belief. The story of the pyramids is a story about what humans can achieve when they are driven by a powerful idea. And believe me, it's a story that still has some surprises in store for us, even today. Now, choosing the perfect spot for a pyramid wasn't a decision taken lightly. Absolutely not. The ancient Egyptians were very particular. They needed a solid rock plateau, something sturdy enough to support the immense weight of the structure. This was usually found on the west bank of the River Nile. Why the West Bank, you ask? Well, in ancient Egyptian belief, the West was the land of the dead, where the sun set each day. It was the traditional place for burials. Proximity to the capital city, like Memphis, was also vital for logistics and royal oversight. Once a suitable location was found, the planning began. And what planning it was! This wasn't a case of just piling up stones, oh no. The architects and priests worked hand in hand. They were brilliant engineers and astronomers. One of the most astounding things is how precisely they aligned the pyramids. Many are aligned almost perfectly to true north, often with an accuracy that modern builders would find challenging, even with our advanced technology. This shows their deep understanding of the stars and mathematics. It's truly mind-boggling stuff, demonstrating a level of sophistication we are still trying to fully comprehend. Let's talk about the materials, the very bones of these giants. The main bulk of most pyramids was constructed from local limestone. This was quarried relatively close to the construction site, which made sense for moving millions of tons of rock. This core limestone wasn't always the prettiest, but it was strong and available. However, for the outer casing, the Egyptians wanted something truly special. They used fine white Tura limestone. This stone was quarried from across the Nile and brought to the site. It was polished to a brilliant sheen, making the pyramids gleam like jewels under the Egyptian sun. Imagine that sight. But for the really important parts like the inner burial chambers and sarcophagi, they often chose granite. This is an incredibly hard and durable stone. The granite used in the Giza pyramids, for example, came all the way from Aswan. That's over 500 miles to the south. Moving these colossal blocks of granite, some weighing many tens of tons, was an incredible feat of human effort and engineering. They had to be hewn from the quarry, loaded onto barges, floated down the Nile, and then dragged overland to the pyramid site. The logistics are just staggering to think about. So, who were the people who actually built these incredible monuments? For a long time, people thought it was a massive army of slaves toiling under the whip. But modern archaeology paints a very different picture. The evidence strongly suggests that the pyramids were built by skilled Egyptian workers, craftsmen, and seasonal agricultural laborers. These weren't slaves. They were organized, paid, often in food, beer, and other provisions. and housed in purpose-built villages near the construction sites. The discovery of a workers' village at Giza has given us fantastic insights into their lives. Their daily lives would have been incredibly tough, there's no denying it. Imagine the physical exertion, working day after day under the hot Egyptian sun. They worked long hours, quarrying stone, hauling massive blocks, and carefully placing them. Yet the remains we've found show that they received good quality food, including meat and fish, and even medical care. We've found bones that were broken and then properly set and healed. This suggests they were valued. They were part of a huge national project, perhaps even a sacred duty to their pharaoh and their gods. This was a community effort on a grand scale. One of the biggest questions, of course, is how did they lift those enormously heavy stones, some weighing several tons, to such great heights? The most widely accepted theory involves the use of ramps. Archaeologists debate the exact type of ramps used. Perhaps they were long, straight ramps leading up one side. Or maybe they used zigzagging ramps or even ramps that spiraled around the pyramid as it grew. It's possible different methods were used for different pyramids or at different stages of construction. These ramps, combined with ropes, levers, and possibly rollers, would have allowed them to maneuver the stones into place. And what about their tools? You might think they had advanced machinery, but their tools were surprisingly simple, yet incredibly effective for the task at hand. For cutting the softer limestone, they used copper chisels and saws. Copper is a relatively soft metal, so they would have needed to sharpen their tools frequently. For the much harder granite, they used heavy pounders made of dolerite and even harder stone. They also likely used abrasive powders like quartz sand with water to help saw and drill through the stone. It was a process requiring immense patience, skill, and a huge amount of human power. When you stand in the shadow of the Great Pyramid today, you can't help but feel a profound sense of awe. It's a humbling experience. You feel small against such ancient majesty. But more than that, you feel a connection. A connection to the thousands of people who poured their energy and skill into its creation. These structures weren't just stone. They were the ultimate expression of a complex and powerful belief system. They were built to last for eternity, to ensure the pharaoh's journey into the afterlife and to stand as a testament to their civilization. And remarkably, they have endured. The sheer genius of the ancient Egyptians is something that continues to astound me every single day. Think about their organizational skills, coordinating such a vast workforce and complex supply chains. Consider their engineering prowess, achieving such precision with relatively simple tools, their artistry, their mathematics, their understanding of the cosmos. It's all there, embodied in these magnificent structures. They created something that has baffled, inspired, and captivated humanity for millennia. Their legacy is truly etched in stone, a timeless reminder of their incredible achievements for all the world to see and wonder at. My life's work has always been about uncovering the truths of this ancient civilization. It's about piecing together the fragments they left behind and sharing their incredible story with the world. But recently, something truly unexpected happened. I was exploring a newly discovered passage deep beneath the sands, far below the foundations of the Great Pyramid itself. The air down there felt different, charged with an energy I'd never experienced in all my years of excavation. Ahead of me, a strange, faint light began to pulse rhythmically, beckoning me forward into the unknown darkness. With my heart pounding in my chest, a mixture of trepidation and intense curiosity, I carefully rounded a narrow corner. And there it was. It wasn't an ancient inscription, nor another hidden tomb or a forgotten sarcophagus. Before my very eyes shimmered a doorway. But it was no ordinary door. It was a swirling vortex of impossible colors, patterns that danced and shifted, unlike anything I had ever seen or could have imagined. It seemed to hum with a silent power pulling at me, a strange, irresistible invitation. Taking a deep breath, a lifetime of archaeological questions suddenly paling in significance, I stepped through. What wonders or perhaps what other worlds lay beyond? Only time or perhaps some other dimension would tell.